deal with the website and how we think about the website these days and how it used to be in the early era of the internet and how it feels different from our perspective. And that was like very much the main theme of this exhibition. It gets really like nervous as you're filming it. But yeah, and like I was like focus on the homepage while I'm brainstorming about the website, and I think the term homepage and how we use the homepage and think about the homepage really reflects how we deal with the internet and the website these days. I was like talking with my friend Dan, and we were talking about how the website or the internet page is becoming more like a window display that we are showing what we want to show, and it's more like an advertisement platform. Whereas homepage used to be more like private space that we are living, and we are just inviting people and making a community and this kind of stuff. So like those like a community kind of vibe has been broken since these template-based homepages are becoming more like a window display, and it's kind of like generating the fame, the popular artists or popular, influencer rather than like making a community. And that has been like very much changed these days. After we have this rely on this larger platform and those like a template-based website and also like social media system, SNS and all that kind of stuff. And I kind of found it very similar to apartment complex in Korea. Like visually it's very similar, and I kind of feel like those like a homepage icon with the triangular shape. In my life I've never lived that sort of like a homepage. I was like born and raised up in Korea, in Seoul, South Korea, where the population is very dense and we all have like an apartment complex, like bunch of different apartment, and there was like 10 or 12 apartment makes this complex system that you have like a huge fence around this apartment, and inside there's like all the facilities including gym, like grocery store. You can just literally just live in there in that same apartment complex, and we are there's like a private channel, TV channel, also like different like private announcement and all that kind of like a very controlled system. That was built right after the Japanese colonization, that government city plan that we need to improve the city, and they try to like test if this apartment complex makes sense and people can live there after and help us to like improve after this post-war, this very poor Korean environment. And they started to build like several different apartment complexes and named it as a testimonial apartment complex. And I was raised up in like one of those testimonial apartment complexes. So my home was literally called as a test in the city. And that eventually, like living in this very controlled system, like national holiday, for example, if you don't hang the flag, like national flag in front of your apartment complex, then there's like an announcement from the central system saying that you on the first floor you need to hang the flag today. So that was like a very like environment that I was grown up, and living at this like very same structure, have like promote this environment that you need to follow the same fashion, same like design, same like, and make this like a popular like pop star sort of like environment. And there were like a lot of like research about this apartment complex system in Korea, but people say that this like a pop, like K-pop, that has very specific, very same, idol like visuals are coming from this apartment culture as well too. And still like Korea has this very unstable public opinion that follows, which is called like a bandwagon effect, that follows the major's opinion, even like instead of like thinking of their own thoughts. And I kind of feel like that is very similar to what is happening in the social media, that we are always like shaken by the public opinion, and it seems like people doesn't have their own voice in the social media, and individuality is like disappearing in the social media as well too. We don't really think that, even in the Instagram we see the pictures, but we don't really think that which picture is coming from which account, but the individual is becoming like transparent, and we just see the same contents again and again. So those like in different culture is very similar with what you can see in the apartment complex and also the social media, and I kind of found it very interesting to talk about. And another reason that I brought that up is that it was coming from one of the French writer talking about how weird this apartment complex system in Seoul is, and that was like that kind of like triggered all the researchers in Korea to talk about, you know, like how we need to avoid this apartment complex system, to avoid this like unstable public opinion system and all this kind of like culture in Korea. And now like Koreans are trying to find an alternative like residential system instead of like this apartment complex system. And I think that's very ideal, you know, direction that I want to make, you know, internet place where artists talk about the weird culture in the internet and make a change, so like we can think about like the better future of the internet. So that was where this stuff are coming from. Another thought, there are like a lot of different ideas floating around my brain where I'm like making these artworks. Another thought is that, you know, this immersive internet or immersive web, like using like a VR, AR glasses and all those like devices are becoming very flattened and minimized, and like all this like eye illusion to force people to feel like they are in the digital system, which is actually not true. Kind of like feel like it's similar to how the stage art or the theater art or the stage design trying to make people feel like they are in the middle of the play. So like trying to make this immersive play scene. And I don't really like that, because like I don't feel like internet is like a fair place for giving like all the opportunity for the people who are using the internet. There's definitely, you know, the minor users who have to like fit their identity or some part of their language or some part of them into the major system, since there is not so many options in the internet. And this like invisible or immersive web kind of like make it like promote that sort of structure in the system, and also like use it as to ignore the diversity, and those minor users need to just follow those major users. So there was like another thought that the website looks like a theater, and if that's like a theater, I want to be this person like pop up from the middle of the play and talk to people like as if that is happening in the epic theater, that intentionally like disturb people to immersively like concentrate on the play, and like let people know that you are in the middle of the play and you need to like learn from the play instead of like fully immersively like join, like being in the middle of the play, if that makes sense. So like that was like another thing that I think my role as an artist, you know, internet is like I try to like intentionally disturb this immersive web environment as an artist. So that was this is the reason why it looks like you know, the set of the movie scene or the stage scene. I'm not sure if it like really looks like that way, but that was the reason why the front, there's like an obvious front view which looks more like a website template. On the side view, on the back view is more like you know, the fake view of it. And you know, so these like websites complexes are coming from those basic website templates and visualize it as an apartment complex. And this flushing is the one that that you can play with this little dog, and if you like play with it, then you can see that the little pop-ups are coming from. And these pop-ups are actually, structure with this website is whenever this dog is like pressing the button, there's like 5 different websites are generating based on the popular template that people are using, and like put it into this iframe, which looks like a pop-up here. So like this kind of like an interaction is, again, it's like my gesture to make disturb the immersiveness of the internet, and like let people to use the devices in a different way instead of like just following their habits. And also like this sort of like a small pop-ups, those like a small website, that instant website that is built like, you know, small, like 1 second or 2 seconds, is like how like website, building the website is becoming very instant, which is the reason, kind of like similar to this apartment complex as well too. Since we are following the same design, what we really focusing on is these days is like making it efficient, fast, and easy. Since the design is solid, then we are not gonna change or improve the design. And this is like kind of like, very similar to those Fordism, those like a conveyor belt system that you are only focusing on efficiency and fastness. And if you search for the building a website these days, and there's like an AI building a website in 1 minute or 10 minutes, and that's like a main theme of these days. And I kind of like want to talk about that from this little dot interaction. It's very fascinating, like addictive to play with it. So, and that was more like a simple introduction of and conclusion of this this like a home-based exhibition, that you can just do some hand gesture and make a handmade website that saying that you need to make a handmade website using your hands. And as you are interacting with this website, you have like different home. Since everyone's home, the hand shape is different. Whenever you make a home, the shape of the home is different. So it's kind of like a little bit glitchy and looks a little bit different. And I want to just bring that up, that like handmade home is supposed to be, the website is supposed to be looks different based on your coding or your identity, and we need to bring it back as user of the internet. Yeah, that's all. Am I understandable?
Why is it only the right hand?
Because I'm a right-handed person. Yeah, I just like for this I really want to make like a simple introduction and simple conclusion. So I try to make it very simple as possible. Which, I mean, for me it's simple.
And what happens when there's like this countdown and then stops? What's happening then?
It's like you are stopping. It's like a screen capturing the moment that you made a home, and I kind of like wanted to let people to see the differences of the shape of the home based on whoever interacting with this website. Yeah, I'm not really sure if that was delivered well. It's presented in panke.gallery.
So is there a collection of all the houses generated or built?
That was the purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was like more like coming from this like a photo booth in I MacBook for all this iOS that you do something and capture stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was yes. The song is and that little mouse is I always like love putting that little mouse whenever I do the installation. It's like it kind of like represents what we are doing in the internet as a user, that we are like rotating in a small social bubble and kind of like limited our perspective, and and also very cute and very active, like social space. So that's
Can we turn it on again?
Should I turn it on again?
Yeah.
this is
I can be your assistant if you want. So it's too fast and then...
yeah, I don't know, like yeah. So that mouse is living in the apartment complex. So yeah.
She wants to visit but she can't reach it.
So like actually this apartment and that original website is coming from one of the two of the Squarespace website, and I just drag all the content inside there and put only the frame of it.
So, is there a reason why you're referring to the home, like triangular roof home in this one? Like, can you see it as a transition to these homes, or?
Yeah, I think that's like a positive side or the feature that I want to bring as a homepage, and that's more like a current homepage shape. So I wanted to. Why did you stop? I wanted to like make a contrast between the two. Yeah. So that one is more like you know, the homepage on individual homepages, whereas this is like a mass produced templates.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm so sad that I missed you.